Okay.
Hi everybody, today is Saturday, August 24th, and Teresa's out in the garden working as usual. She doesn't have her microphone on. We weren't really ready to do a video. She's squinting. So she's going to tell you kind of what she's doing today. It's getting ready for fall planting, I guess. Right, hon?
Right. I have cabbage, broccoli, and cauliflower started in the house, so I can just get the plants and put them right into the beds. Right now it's kind of hot for them, so maybe next weekend I might be able to put them in. They're still little. I have two long beds, or last beds that we built in the vegetable garden. I already planted this large bed with
Let me show them.
lettuce, carrots, and beets.
So that one's planted, and you got the irrigation hose there.
Yes. The one on the other side, I'm going to put
So that's on this side.
cabbage. And I have the wheat cloth. It's already cut for the cabbage. I just wanted to add another layer of soil. We lost some soil through between the two slats. We have two 2x6s as the bed, and at the end I saw that some of the soil went out the end.
So what she means is we used to have one board down 6 inches high, and then we got flooded here so much during the winter. She went and added a whole nother board on top of the older board to raise the bed up another 6 inches. So we're kind of bringing in some more soil. And what's this wheat cloth? This is something new that you do now.
Oh, the weed block, yeah. It's woven. Most of the time it has these cool stripes on it, but I have holes already for the cabbage plant. We get, then I'm going to cover it because we get, at this time of year, there are still the moths that lay eggs, you know, the cabbage worms and all that. So we don't like worms in our cabbage.
So she's going to put insect netting over with those white plastic coops.
Right, and on top of the weed block, I also throw a scattering of slug bait because slugs really like cabbage.
Yeah, but this is our way of, because Teresa spent so much time weeding, and I could see her down on her hands and knees. Instead of like growing more stuff, she was like weeding all the time. So I was like, we got to do something. So we did a little trial with the weed block last year, and it seemed to work okay. She had a little fun burning holes. I got her this blowtorch that hooks up to the propane tank.
Yeah, I have to get that out.
And she has fun with that. So anyhow, show me your tomatoes, because this is the end of August and the tomatoes are kind of done for a lot of people.
Well,
we got pretty flowers here on the end. I'm going to go on this side, I guess.
okay.
This way the sun will be at my back.
The celebrities and the paste tomatoes, which grew very well, but they got crowded out by the other two guys. I had them all in this bed, but the non-determinate tomatoes,
Jeez.
which were a seed that we took out of a really giant tomato, and I've been propagating them and saving the seeds for the past 2 years. And they're the ones, they just started a second round. They decided they're not done yet.
She is so polite. I brought home these tomatoes. I paid like $8 for 3 tomatoes, and I was like, that's it. But they were delicious tomatoes, so we saved the seeds. She's polite in saying that her husband is so cheap he didn't want her spending all this money on seeds. so she's being polite about it, but I'm going to zoom in on some tomatoes here.
This is the second year that particular variety, which we really don't know what it is, it's a beefsteak type, that variety's done very well. It seems to be disease resistant. I do have a little bit of late blight coming up in it, but all I did, I sprayed it a couple times with neem, the whole patch, and then a little bit with BT, because the corn, not the tomato hornworms, but the corn borers, the cornworms were in it, and they sit and eat little holes in your tomatoes, and they also go in through the side, but they're tiny. I haven't been fertilizing this tomato bed, so these tomatoes are likely to be smaller than the ones we had at the beginning, right at the bottom. I had a 2-pound tomato,
Yeah, they were giant.
and they were beautiful slicers, small seed cavities.
I don't know if we took a video with any of the 2-pounders, but I know I took a couple of still photos of some of the big ones.
Yeah.
But these are still going strong, and we'll have plenty of tomatoes. The idea of Garden for Two is to grow what Teresa and I need to eat for a whole year. So we've got salsa.
I have tomatoes frozen. I have tomato sauce, canned. I have, what's the other thing I made? Last year I made green tomato relish because I had so many green tomatoes right before the frost.
And you dehydrated some too.
Oh, and I dehydrated some.
So that makes you dehydrate it and grind up the tomatoes and get this tomato powder. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it really adds a nice touch to, I don't know, if you're baking chicken or even barbecuing it, you just throw a little tomato powder in it, and it was very sweet.
Yeah, so that's a good tip on that one. That we weren't always doing that, but now we like that a lot.
Yeah.
So anyhow, the fall garden's coming along. This bed here is kind of naked. What is in this one?
I think I'm going to put the cauliflower in this bed because I have hoops and I have the cloth that can cover this bed.
Right.
Um,
So you got one more week of this hot weather coming, so you're going to just wait till after that? Is that what you're saying?
right, to transplant those plants, but I'm going to, you see, we took our cucumbers down
Oh,
because
yeah.
they got diseased and I didn't keep up with the spraying.
Oh, my gosh. We had so many cucumbers, though.
The beans keep coming, so I'll keep them up there until the
That's our
frost.
string beans.
And over here, I decided today,
Here she goes. We got to follow. Today she decided.
I'm going to plant rutabagas in this bed. I just, prepared it. And last year we planted rutabagas. We like the ones from the supermarket. We tried them 2 years in a row. The ones we planted were never sweet and mellow and yellow like the ones from the supermarket. The ones with the wax. So I'm trying a new variety. And you really don't need many if they do well. We might use 8 in a season because they get so big that I use a half and I put it in stew or soup. So I'm trying Laurentian rutabagas, which I found over the winter this year. So
They look like the ones in the supermarket.
yeah, they do.
A little bit smaller still, maybe.
But the ones we grew last year, they were 6 inches in diameter, 5 or 6 inches. So 8 of those will fit here and it'll be all we'll need.
Mm-hmm.
So I still have a celebrity tomato growing at the end here, which is a kind that stays short.
That was a volunteer, wasn't it?
No,
No.
that was the last plant that didn't fit in the other tomato bed.
We had too many plants.
And I stuck it in the ground there and it kept growing and growing. So I said, well, it wants to live. So
And then we got marigolds. What?
that was the carrot bed. The marigolds, I chopped them. I already took one out. And I grind them up and I put them back on any carrots I grow as a mulch after the carrots are sprouted because the oil in the marigolds deters nematodes.
All right.
And the nematodes are what, when you have a carrot growing, they nibble at the tip underground, and that's why your carrots get all forky and crazy and grow sprouts. So we like straight carrots pretty much.
Your carrots were really sweet this year, though, so I like them all. But the asparagus is just like, forget it, having it in beds. It's no sense in having it in beds. It goes where it wants to go.
It's very happy this year after we thought we had lost it after the flood.
Yeah. Well, next spring. We'll have a video next spring of all that asparagus we're
I'll
going to...
show you the rows and rows of pressure canned asparagus since I got a electric pressure canner for Christmas.
Yeah.
And it works well on string beans and a couple other things.
The pressure canners, it's a cooker canner, but it does canning. And it's a little expensive, and we didn't buy one for years because of the price. But I'll tell you, after we've used it now, instead of turning the stove on in the summertime, to do hot bath, we're never going back. We're never going. In fact, we went out and bought more jars now because
Right.
we've used every jar canning up stuff. Maybe one day we'll show you the pantry. But
Yeah, it's a little disorganized. I need a bigger one.
we just got that one. It's not even a year old.
I know, but where am I going to put the stuff I can?
I don't know. On the floor behind the sofa.
Under the bed?
Under the bed. There you go. I don't. That's a good problem to have, eh? Anyhow, we keep making more compost. The grass has just been growing wild here since we had that real hot, dry spell, and then it started raining a few times. So she's mowing and mowing and mowing for me. And
There's a watermelon growing out of the asparagus.
there's a watermelon. I see it. A watermelon snuck into the asparagus bed. Your buddies are over there. Look, the watermelons, we had tons and tons of, we gave so much away this year again. But the watermelons and cantaloupes are still giving. They're over there. And we did get, how many peaches did we get this year?
13 peaches.
13 peaches in our,
Trees are 2 years old.
yeah, this is just the second year. It's pretty incredible. And the first year didn't really count because they were bare root and we planted them in the fall.
In the spring.
In the spring?
Yeah.
In the spring. Yeah, so I'm sorry. Too old. That's why we do these videos.
Yeah. So we can go back and look that up and say, oh no.
She just did last night. She's like, our sweet potatoes are growing. When did we harvest them last year? So she had to go back and watch the video. But I bet you forgot already.
No. We harvested them on September 25th.
So, oh, she remembered.
Last year.
I take it back.
We had the entire watermelon bed that's grown
Yeah.
watermelons this year. Last year it was the potato patch.
30 by 30 area, pretty much. So, anyhow, we only have them in grow bags this year. We kind of rotated where we planted things. So we got them mostly in grow bags.
Yeah, that keeps their tips from getting into the ground and growing little fingerlings, and it makes them concentrate, theoretically, on the big potatoes that they're supposed to make under each plant.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, we don't normally get as many potatoes when we do it in grow bags as when we put it in the ground. So it's better in the ground, but easier in the grow bag, especially easier on the harvest. And then over there in her orchard, sorry for moving, in that corner we've got 2 Kajari melons, which we planted for well, we tried them last fall, but it didn't work. We planted them too late. But that's the sweet potatoes coming up right there. And then there's a few strawberries still coming in. But that's pretty much it for the video for today. And I gotta go make more compost or something, I'm sure. I swear, I don't know. She eats compost, I think. I don't know where it all goes. But we're making quite a bit again. So, all right. So that's it for Charlie and Teresa Garden for Two. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll make sure Teresa sees them. And if you got any tips on rutabagas, let us know how to keep them sweet. You know, I don't know if there's something we have to add to the soil or what.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, let us know. In the meantime, I'm going to let Teresa get back to work. She needs to fill up 2 more wheelbarrows for dirt in that raised bed before she can plant. So, till next time, Charlie and Teresa, Garden for Two.